Let's take a look at another part modeling example based on a drawing I found on the internet. And this is going to be for another part that holds a couple of shafts. And the drawing is a little bit cluttered, but it is not that complicated. It is an opportunity to take a look at some different techniques for sketching and also creating features. In this video, I'm just going to create the base and the two cylinders that hold the shafts. The different webs I will do in a subsequent video. And so I'm going to do this in a document that I already created and I used for creating another part. Let me go to the plus sign in the lower left-hand corner and create another part studio. I'm not going to create this part in the same part studio that I used before just because it's going to be different. They're not related parts. And so for creating the base, I'm going to start by sketching on the plane called top. I will select it and then hold down the right mouse button and create a new sketch. Let's look at the sketch normal to the sketch plane. And so the main features that we have for sizing this are the circles with a diameter of 40. So I am going to start off by creating those. Let me click on the center point circle command. I'll locate the first circle about over here and let's drag it out to roughly about a size of 40. And that's good for the first one. I'm going to move my mouse over onto the center so that it just focuses on it, and let me move my mouse down about over here and then make it about 40 as well. So that's good for that one. Then for the next one, I'll focus on the circle I just made and drag out horizontally and then locate about here and once again make it around 40 or so. And for the last one, let me focus on the circle that I just created. And yep, there it is snapping to the first one that I made. And drag it out about yay big. Let's throw in our equal constraint. So here's equal, and I'll pick this circle and this circle, and then this circle and this circle, and this circle and this one. And looks like they all adjusted to the same size. I think they are the same size now. I don't know, did I get this one? Let me just do it just to make sure. Okay, so everything is equal. And now let's make them symmetric about our planes. So let's go to the symmetry command. And so with symmetry, we're going to make things symmetric relative to a line, plane, or linear edge. And so let me pick this circle and make them symmetric about this. And this circle symmetric about this. And so they adjusted. Now let's throw in some of our different dimensions. And so we know that the circles need to have a diameter of 40. I will put that in. And then the horizontal distance between the centers is going to be 280. Looks like I'm way low on that one. So enter that. And then let's put in the distance between the circles vertically. And this is going to be a distance of 110. And by the way, you'll notice that everything turned black. That means that everything is fully dimensioned and constrained. So that's good so far. Now I'm going to throw in the lines, and I like to exaggerate when I'm sketching, then throw constraints in later. So I'm going to have a line going from here to there, and let me hit the escape key, and then I'll use the keyboard shortcut L and go from here to here. And I can also just hit L again to get out of the command, and then hit L and line from there to there, and hit the L key, and then let's do L again so I can make a line from here to here. Okay, and so obviously the lines are skewed at weird angles. Let me hit the escape key to get out. And so to make them nice and uniform, I will throw in my tangent constraints. So let's make this line tangent to this and the line tangent over here. And then this tangent and this tangent, and tangent, 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 and tangent, tangent. So once again, everything has turned black. And so this is good for this sketch. There are some holes with a diameter of 20 going through the middle here. I could do them in the same sketch, but I just want to show you a different technique. So I'm going to leave the other other circles out of this sketch. Let's hit the check mark in order to complete. Let me rotate slightly. And now let's create our first extrude. I will click on the extrude tool, and I'm just going to pick the sketch right out of the tree because I'm going to sketch everything in the first sketch. It's giving me a depth of 25, which is the depth that I want to use. So this is good for the very first one. I will hit the check mark. Sketch 1 automatically got hidden. I need it again for creating the second sketch. And so now let's go to the extrude command once more, and I will pick the faces that I want to extrude. You'll notice that we are getting red. We're getting a bit of an error. Let me change the depth to these to 30. And let's see, it's adding material and it's got the correct merge scope. And so this looks very good. So let's hit the check mark for the second extrude. And let me just finish off the base by throwing in the holes. Now, normally I would create a sketch with a bunch of different points. Speaking of sketches, let's hide sketch 1 and let's reduce the clutter by turning off the display the planes for a moment. But there is an easy way to create or locate the holes that we want to drill through here. Let's click on the hole command, and instead of using points, you can use mate connectors. And of course, mate connectors can be implicit. They can be ones that are sensed from the geometry. And so let me select that surface, and then there, and then there, and then here as well. And so for the type of hole, let's do a drilled hole. And we want these to be a diameter of 20. So all of that is good. And so this is a great technique that you should use. It should be in your toolbox, using mate connectors for locating holes. So let me hit the check mark in order to complete that. So there are the different features for the base. Let me hit the keyboard shortcut of P to turn the display back on. Now let's create our first cylinder up at the top. And so I'm going to sketch on the plane called front. Let's select it, right mouse click and hold, and new sketch. And right mouse click and hold. Let's view normal to the sketch. And so I'm gonna pan this whole thing down a little bit. So I need to sketch a couple of circles. And by the way, you could actually do the whole entire part in the same sketch, but I like to keep my sketches simple and easy to understand. Try to keep my confusion to a minimum. So I'm just going to create these circles, and they're going to be lined up with the origin here. Let's click on the circle command and let it sense there and drag it up over here. And so for the first circle, let's drag it out to a diameter of close to 100. And then the second circle will be located right on the same. And let me see, what is that dimension? It's about 55. I don't have to drag to the approximate dimension, but might as well. And let me pan everything down. So we have blue, so that means that we need to throw in some dimensions. So let's dimension the big circle. Let's make this a value of 100. And let's change this one to a value of 55. And then to locate them, we need a distance dimension. The distance from here to here. And let's make it vertical. And wow, it's almost exactly dead on to the value that I wanted, 200. And by the way, once again, everything has turned black, so that is good. And so with this, let's hit the check mark. And again, I could do everything in this sketch, but I am not going to. I just like simple sketches. And so let's create our next extrude, and I'm just gonna pick this face and let's make it a symmetric depth of 130. You'll notice that since this is not intersecting, it's creating a new part. You can see part 2 in the parts list. That is okay. And let's hit the check mark. And so for the last features for this video, let's create another sketch once again on the plane called front. Front, right mouse click and hold, new sketch, right mouse click and hold, and view normal to the sketch. And so if you take a look at the drawing, the location of the hole in the vertical direction is determined by a line at the top tangent to this outer 100 diameter circle. So I'm going to create a construction line to use. Let's hit construction and make a line, and I'm going to exaggerate it and throw a constraint in later on. I'm making sure that the line is horizontal, and so that's good. Let me hit the escape key to get out of there. And now let's make the line tangent to the circle and create our circles for the cylinder that's going to hold the clamps over on the left. So let's go to the circle command and let's drag out one circle and let it snap in there, and then another circle and make it about yay big. And so these circles are going to have diameters of 75 and 45. So let's make this 75, actually 40 for the other one. Pick this, drag it out, make it a value of 40. And it's blue because we need to locate this horizontally. And so this is going to be a dimension of 210 from the middle. So I can pick here and then pick the plane and then let it give me the horizontal dimension. Let's plug in our value of 210 and hit the enter key. Everything is in black. That's good. Let's hit the check mark. And now for the last feature for this video, let's once again go to the extrude command, pick the face, let's make it symmetric and change the depth to 65. And once again, we're getting a new part because it's not touching the geometry from the other two parts, but that's okay. When I create the webs in the next video, I'm going to merge everything together and we will have one single part. So there you have it. There is the first section of this video. Come back for part 2 where I will make all the different webs and the fillets, and yeah, that's pretty much what we're gonna have left for creating this part. Oh, by the way, if you go to my channel's community page, you can find a picture of this drawing as well if you want to practice it on your own.